silent mental mistake keeping physiatrists overworked, underpaid, and trapped in 2026? Every physiatrist thinks they're making rational decisions. That's the dangerous part. Because some of the most life changing career decisions physicians make are quietly being controlled by mental shortcuts they don't even realize exist. And in today's healthcare environment, those hidden shortcuts are becoming financially devastating. The physician who almost missed the biggest opportunity of his career. A physiatrist sits in his car after another 12-hour day. His inbox is exploding. Documentation is unfinished. Administration wants higher productivity. Reimbursements are shrinking again. Then he sees something online. Another physician just opened a successful private practice. His immediate reaction, that would never work for me. That thought feels factual, logical, responsible. But what if it's not actually true? What if it's just a mental shortcut masquerading as certainty? That single realization changes everything. There's a hidden psychological trap physicians never see coming. Your brain is designed for efficiency, not accuracy. That's why physicians, despite being highly intelligent, often become trapped in patterns that quietly destroy growth, ownership, and opportunity. The attached framework reveals a powerful truth. The brain constantly uses shortcuts to simplify complex decisions, and while those shortcuts save time, they also quietly sabotage physicians trying to build profitable practices. For example, a physiatrist hears three stories about failed private practices. Suddenly, ownership feels dangerous, entrepreneurship feels reckless, and employment feels safe, even if the actual data says otherwise. That's because the human brain overvalues whatever examples come to mind first, not necessarily what is most true. And healthcare systems know this. They benefit when physicians think small, fear risk, avoid ownership, and remain emotionally exhausted. Because exhausted physicians rarely challenge the system. Here's why this mental shortcut is becoming financially catastrophic. Here's the problem. The demand for physiatrists is exploding. America is aging. Stroke recovery is increasing. Functional decline is accelerating. Post-acute complexity is rising dramatically. Yet despite unprecedented demand, many physiatrists are becoming more financially vulnerable. Why? Because mental shortcuts are shaping career decisions more than strategy is. Physicians anchor themselves to outdated beliefs. Private practice is dead. Hospitals are more stable. I'm not business minded. It's too late to build something. Those thoughts feel real because repetition creates familiarity, and familiarity creates perceived truth. Meanwhile, other physicians are opening profitable practices, building rehab networks, launching consulting brands, creating digital authority, expanding ancillary revenue streams, reclaiming autonomy. The gap is widening fast. And the longer physicians delay learning business, the more expensive that delay becomes. The physicians who win think differently. The most successful physiatrists in the next decade will not simply be the best clinicians, they will be the physicians who learn to question their own default thinking. Instead of reacting emotionally, they pause and ask, is this belief actually true? Am I evaluating this objectively? Or am I simply repeating what I've always heard? That pause creates clarity, and clarity creates opportunity. The physicians building profitable practices today are not necessarily smarter. They are simply more aware of how fear, familiarity, and mental shortcuts shape decision making. That awareness gives them an advantage, because once you recognize the shortcut, you can stop letting it run your future. The conversation most physicians avoid. Here's the uncomfortable question. How many physiatrists are staying trapped in systems they dislike because their brain has convinced them there's no other option? That thought alone will make some physicians angry, others defensive, others hopeful. Good, because healing your financial future starts with challenging the stories keeping you stuck. The truth is, most physicians don't need more clinical knowledge. They need better business education, better awareness, better leadership, and better thinking patterns. The future of physiatry belongs to physicians willing to think beyond the default path. Helping patients heal is noble, but helping yourself build freedom, ownership, and long-term security matters too, because eventually every physician must answer one difficult question. Did you build your own future or spend your career protecting someone else's business model?